Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So tonight, I'm going to show you guys some more metrics that indicate that Bitcoin is ready to blast off. That we have seen the worst, that we have formed a bottom, and Bitcoin is ready to take off and go back to where it was not too long ago. So let me show you what I found. A couple different metrics, interesting ones I haven't shown before that I discovered today. Very, very, very fascinating. So let's get to it. So welcome back, guys. Make sure you smash the like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that notification bell. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and check out all the latest articles on CryptosRUs.com. All right, welcome, guys. Welcome. Even Tesla XYZ, he's been showing up and trolling these streams. All right. So looking at Bitcoin, hey, we just had a sudden pump out of nowhere. You see this volume spike right there out of nowhere. So that's encouraging. So Bitcoin's a little bit higher right now, about 32,600, and Ethereum continue higher a little bit more, 2,059, right? So things are looking pretty good right now. Of course, not back to 64,000 yet. We're still about halfway there. However, this is great for those of you guys that wanted to buy cheap. If you missed out on all the gains starting from January till now, well, guess what? It's like you got into a time machine and you got sent back 6 months ago, and this is where most of the coins were at 6 months ago. So for those of you guys that missed out on all the tremendous gains that we saw for this earlier this year, well, now's your chance to get in at the same prices. So definitely bargains still be to had, right? Now, of course, I've been showing you guys a lot of interesting metrics recently, things that show that, hey, Bitcoin is doing just fine. There's a lot of fundamental things, a lot of buying. There's just a lot of good stuff. And there's more to show you guys tonight. First of all, let's look at Fear and Greed Index. So 2 days ago, it was at 10. Or maybe last night, and this just reset. Because this updates every so often. So I don't know if it's last night or the night before. It dropped down to 10, and I was saying usually a fear index at a 10 is a good bottom indicator, because whenever there's a lot of fear with Bitcoin, that's usually when it starts turning up again. So when it hit 10, that was a pretty good indication that things were going to turn up. But overall, for the last 2 months, you could see this cluster right here of fear. That's also a good indication that we're ready to move higher. So Fear and Greed Index, pretty good indicator, a bottom and top indicator. And right now it's still hovering in the 20s. So we're not out of that fear zone. In fact, this is still considered extreme fear. All right. It's a mistake to bash Elon. We're on the same team. I'm still going to call him Elon, though. All right, so here we go. Let's look at this article. 3 reasons why Bitcoin bottomed at 29.5. In fact, you got to go back a little more. Bitcoin bottomed at 28.8. Okay, I think people forget that we did have. All right, we're gonna scroll back a little bit. I think people forgot that we did dip a little bit lower before. In fact, the first time there was a giant downwick right here. It goes to about 30,000, but then you could see that there was a big drop all the way to 28.5, 28.4, something like that. No, 28.8, right? So this recent drop wasn't a new low. It was actually still higher than at 28.8, although it seemed worse. There was so much fear. It seemed like, Bitcoin went down even lower to 25 or 20,000. No, it was actually still higher than our recent low. So that's, I guess just want to point that out, because the perception of this, of us hitting 29.5, it was somehow worse. But anyways, 3 reasons why 29.5 or 28.8 was the bottom. Okay, first of all, futures trading, CME futures upticked tremendously within the last 2 days. So this is number one, and this is not really what I want to show you, but there's a few things in here. Number one is futures going higher. What does that mean? Well, that means more whales, more institutions are more bullish on Bitcoin. You can see this is actually pretty, it's pretty noticeable that the trend was down, right, until the 20th, and then it started coming back up again. So will this continue forward? Quite possibly. And this is also looking at, it's not just CME. CME is the yellow, but there's also Kraken, Huobi, OKX, and Deribit, their futures as well. Pretty much correlating, but CME, of course, if you could see right here, a little bit more, CME traders are a little more bullish, which is why the futures are a little bit higher. So that's interesting, okay? Number one, future volume going up. That's good. Number two is, this is just someone talking about how there's a lot of resistance and supports. They used to be supports, turn resistances, but they can easily turn back to supports, right? So right now, 32.2 was actually an important one. The next one up is the 50 MA. I think that's on a daily here, and that's like 34 something, right? And then the next one is about 36, and then 40. So basically, we got a lot to look forward to. If we get a little bit more volume and we could break past some of these supports turn resistances, we could turn them back into supports, which is what we want. So that's number two. But number three is what's really interesting. And I don't know who this Izzy person is, but they utilized CryptoQuant and looked at the inflows, okay, exchange inflows. Recently, I told you guys about this huge one that inflew, 70-something thousand Bitcoins inflew into Coinbase Pro. Now, like 50,000 came out, but there was still a difference about 30,000 Bitcoins. So if you look at all the major inflows, there has been 3, now there's 4. You can see that these are bottom indicators. So back in August of 2017, during the bull run, right, you did see right here, before this first dotted line here, you see how Bitcoin crashed down. That was about a 40% drop, okay? So that was a pretty significant drop. Now, the second time, November 30th, 2018, you could see there was a drastic drop from 10,000 down to like 6,000. Unfortunately, though, from that 6,000 point, it did go down a little bit further before going sideways and coming up. So this one is a little shaky, but still, it did indicate that the bottom was near. So the second one, November 30th. Now the third one, my camera cuts off a little bit. That's March of last year during COVID and pandemic. And you could see that there was a steep sell-off from 6,000 down to 3,000, right? And that also had, I got to move the camera because you guys can't see the bottom. All right, I'll move it somewhere here for now. You could see toward the bottom, the blue, right? The blue lines, that is the inflow. And you can see there was 3 massive ones, right? So now look at the recent one. Recent one, massive inflow. And then you could see where we are on the price chart, right? So does this indicate that we have hit bottom and we're ready to blast off from here? Maybe. All right. My gut tells me that we are due for a rally, right? We've been stuck in this range for 2 months now. It could be that we go further, we just continue more sideways movement, but even then, I think we start slowly trending up. There's a lot of money on the sidelines. Billions upon billions upon billions upon billions, which is what I like to say, that are sitting on the sidelines, sitting in stable coins, sitting in bank accounts waiting to enter. Right now, we know that all the retail investors, not all, vast majority of retail investors that came in, that FOMO'd in, that helped Bitcoin drive up to 64,000, most of them have left, right? But when things come back up again, they're going to regret leaving and selling a loss, and they're going to FOMO in one more time. Right, and the pattern will always cycle. But the big boys, they've been accumulating. I've been showing you guys whale addresses that hold a lot of Bitcoins, and it keeps increasing. So the big boys are still buying. They have not stopped buying. And that's why I think, yeah, we're due. We're due for some kind of blast off or a rally, okay, that's around the corner. So this is the main one I want to show you guys. This one is very, very interesting. I haven't seen anyone plot this before. Of course, I've shown you guys massive inflows before and massive outflows, but this one, actually very interesting. Very interesting when you look at it this way. Now, in terms of the massive buying, the billions upon billions, right? Obviously, Elon just revealed that not Starlink, SpaceX owns a ton of Bitcoins. He owns a ton of Bitcoin, right? And it just seems like every single billionaire is just coming out slowly, one after another, saying that they have Bitcoins. So here's another one. Billionaire Thomas Peterfree invests in crypto. He is the founder and chairman of Interactive Brokers. And he just revealed he put money into crypto because he believes there's a small chance that this will be the dominant currency, so you have to play the odds. So another billionaire just came out and admitted that they have crypto. When I say crypto, it's most likely Bitcoin and Ethereum. These days, it's just like it's Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? So again, another billionaire. I can't even count how many billionaires now that have come out that have stated that they own Bitcoin, and 100 millionaires and multimillionaires, right? So many have come out. They're buying. They're buying behind the scenes. They buy when things are cheap. I have no doubt so many bought when Bitcoin dipped to 29, 28 recently. And who knows, maybe some companies also did, right? That's what these big boys do. They don't panic sell. They don't have weak hands. These are the guys that have true diamond hands and laser eyes. That's why they're a billionaire, okay? They don't just panic sell. They don't just FOMO. They don't fall for FUD whenever there's a few headlines being thrown around. These guys buy low. They buy when there's fear in the market, and they hold and they wait until they become billionaires, okay? So it's as simple as that. So we have another billionaire that is now involved with Bitcoin. Remember this headline I showed you guys this morning? JP Morgan is now offering 5 cryptocurrency funds to their clients, right? And I said they're not going to be the only ones. They're not going to be the only bank that's going to offer their wealthy clients Bitcoin and crypto-related offerings, because everyone wants a piece right now, especially the wealthy, because they're really, really important. They're really worried about protecting their wealth right now with so much inflation going on, right? And of course, I was right, because look at it. Switzerland's largest bank, UBS, now says their clients have crypto FOMO. And guess what that's going to lead to? Well, it's going to lead to them offering crypto services and probably a trading desk or investment arm or whatever is probably going to come out and cater to those clients, their wealthy clients. People are paying attention to crypto. They are not moving away. The smart money is coming in. They're not leaving. They're coming in. We just don't notice it yet. But this will all add up. And it's not just UBS. Guess what? Goldman Sachs survey shows family offices are also flocking to crypto investment. Family offices are very, very wealthy. Very wealthy. A lot of them are holding assets or investments in the billions. And guess what? They're also flocking into crypto, Bitcoin, and Ethereum, and others. Okay? So basically, bottom line, why I'm showing you all this, right? This is what I've been saying. Sometimes it's hard to hear, or you may not believe, but there is so much interest going on behind the scenes. Most of the trading is done through an OTC market, so it's frustrating, because if all these players were buying on Coinbase, Bitcoin will be above 100,000 already. Okay, but that's not why they're buying. They don't want to buy to cause price to go up. They want to buy as many as they can while things are cheap without disrupting the price. That's how you do it, because you want to buy as much cheap Bitcoins as you can. That's why they don't buy it on Coinbase. While the whales that are manipulating the market, they do so. They utilize leverage or they utilize a large amount of Bitcoin or Ethereum, and they do so on the spot exchanges to cause fear, to cause retail people to get out, while the big money behind the scenes is just buying and buying and buying more. All right. So with that said, one last thing. I think a lot of you guys paid attention. Jack Dorsey just tweeted us out, # or hashtag ETH and the Ethiopian flag. So I don't actually think that this is actually ETH. I think this is saying Ethiopia, which of course is a country that formed a huge deal with Cardano recently. But I don't think Jack is the only person that tweeted. Someone else tweeted this. I think Anthony Papagiano or someone else. So I think this has to do more with Ethiopia than Ethereum. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's both. It could be both. I don't know. So Ethiopia could be following El Salvador next in terms of, making Bitcoin legal tender. Although they have a huge digital ID deal with Cardano. So I don't know what's going on. But it seems like they are very, very active with crypto these days. So yeah. All right, guys, let's do some Q&A. Theodore sent a big super chat. Thanks for fighting the FUD and keeping spirits high during the past few months. You kept a lot of people, myself included, from panic selling. See you on the moon. We're all George. I appreciate that, Theodore. That's what I'm here for. To make sure you guys don't fall for the same mistakes that I have. And stay focused and not pay attention to FUD and media-driven FUD. I think a lot of people don't even understand what FUD means, because a lot of people keep claiming that, you don't know. You say everything is FUD. FUD does not mean it's wrong. FUD just means that there's something that's causing fear, uncertainty, and doubt. I think people think FUD means that it's incorrect or false. No, that's not what FUD means. FUD just means that anything that could cause you to question yourself, to want to go in a different direction because you're seeing things that doesn't align with your perspective or views, right? And sometimes it's good to evaluate, but when you get constantly bombarded with nonstop articles about how everything is just go drop to zero and it's done, the top is here, there's no interest, there's no institutional interest. I mean, if you're seeing constant headlines like that, of course, it's going to cause doubt. It's going to cause FUD, right? So it's important to not pay attention to those things. Hey, James. Invest Answers in the house. As I said, July will be bonkers in terms of tipping points for big money flowing to Bitcoin, family offices, JP Morgan, Goldman, you name it. Cheers, George. Keep up the good work. Be on your channel soon. I agree. Let's see what happens, right? So we're coming to the end of this month. So we still have a week to go, although we're going to be entering futures expiration, options expiration week next week. So we'll have to see what happens there. But yeah, I mean, we might still be here for a while, but I do think that, we'll start creeping up and start gaining momentum, right? All these guys coming in, they may be buying OTC, they may be buying secretly, right? Causing the price not to go up, but eventually it's going to catch up. Eventually. That's why the reserves on the exchanges keep going lower and lower and lower, right? If you look at Bitcoin's reserves, Ethereum's reserves, they keep going down. There's a reason for that. All right. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. If you can buy SpaceX's Starlink IPO stock, you do it without hesitation. You keep talking about that. So can a normal person buy a Starlink IPO right now? How much money do you need? Tesla XYZ. You've been saying that for a while. Is Jason in here? Someone says, no, Pisano, look again. All right, Daryl, appreciate that. Was anyone on Jordan's stream? I was. Well, at least the very tail end. And he had a very, very funny meme character persona that he was showing off. And I told him that he should do it for the whole show because that was hilarious. If he did that, it would be really, really good. Should we eject from BNB, especially if we're in a profit 2x? Hey, if you double your money, why not take some off, right? It's okay. It's okay. Rule number one with profit taking is if you double your money, you should take out your original investment. That way, whatever you're left over is just house's money. Even if it goes to zero, you're never going to be in the loss. So that's rule number one. So Rich, why not? Why not? But if you're really, 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 really bullish, then yeah, you could leave it in there. Just take some off the top a little bit at a time. Val, I appreciate that. Fabian, that sounds good. Corky says, I'm kind of lost looking for Hopium. Well, that was the whole stream. That was the whole stream. Get James on his show. I am. I told James I have this idea. I told you guys. Some of you guys have seen it. I want to do like a kind of like a Millennial Money kind of show that Kevin and others put on. I want to do something like that with crypto and just have a bunch of good guys to talk to about everything. So James is definitely someone I want on the show. So we're still planning it out. Omega, thank you. What do you think about audio? Bit Badger, I like audio. Audius, they have millions of users per month, so that's very good. And they're trying to get NFTs with their musicians, so I think they could do well. Buckethead Gaming, appreciate that. I know from 2 days ago it was hacked, but what is going on with Rune? Hopes to... yeah, Rune, unfortunately, Thorchain got hacked again. Like, the hacker did something to kind of... somehow they, found some kind of vulnerability to allow, fake tokens to be accepted or something like that. I don't know the details. But, yeah, it's not good that they were hacked twice. So, Thorchain is... they're in trouble right now. They're in trouble. Well, not saying trouble, but they have enough funds to cover it, but it's not good to be hacked within such a short amount of time. Do you want CEO Voyager on here sometime? Yeah. I actually emailed him. I not that it was a bad thing, but a few days ago, or maybe last week, people asked me about Voyager, and I just made a comment hey, I love the app. I think they're great. But, the Voyager token, there's not much use for it other than to just deposit and earn interest. But there's not much use for it. And then people tweeted him, and he sent me a message saying, hey, George, I'd love to talk to you about, our new loyalty program. And then since then, I haven't heard from him. I wrote back. I'm like, yeah, why don't you come on the show? I emailed him. I didn't hear back. But I'd love to get Steve on, and just talk. There's a lot to talk about these days. Why did XLM pump so hard? Because they want to buy MoneyGram. So that's why. I didn't even realize they pumped 20% because rumors they want to buy MoneyGram. So that would stick it to XRP because MoneyGram was XRP's big partner. Are you still bullish on VET? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And one of the projects I will be introducing soon on this channel is VimWorld, which is an NFT play on top of VET, which has been doing very, very, very well. So VET is branching out. There are going to be new dApps on top of VeChain that is catering to consumers and not just all business. And I do think that's going to help them quite a bit going forward. Did you watch the CNBC's interview with the Tether guys? They said Tether financial audit may be months away. Yeah, I read the story about it. I didn't see it, but that's the big thing, right? Because they haven't really been audited for quite some time. So we'll see when they get audited. If it's by a big financial or accounting firm, that can actually verify that they have funds, well, then that fund goes away. But if they can't, then, well, that's bad, right? I know a lot of people still like thinking that Tether could somehow collapse the market. I think if Tether went completely belly up, let's say tomorrow they shut down and there is no Tether out there, then yeah, I think it's going to cause a dent, but I don't think it's going to come to that. I think it's going to be a slow process, and something the other stable coins will just take over. I mean, I like Ultra. Chicago Brew, that's not true. Don't be spreading FUD. ETC is all you'll be thinking about in 2022. No, but I appreciate your dedication. I know Coca-Cola, the only reason why you're here is to shill Ethereum Classic, but that's okay. At least you're here. But we'll see. If BTC had a face, would it be Cathie Wood's face or a face of another crypto VIP? If Bitcoin had a face, it would probably look something like my own, probably, and that's because Bitcoin wants you to hodl. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just making that up. I have no idea. If it had a face, I don't know if it would look like Cathie Wood or someone else. Okay. What else is there? I missed a lot. All right, let's scroll up or down. Do you know if Theta is still releasing 3.1 on July 25th? I don't know if it's 3.1. 3 was released, but I don't know what 3.1 is all about. Scroll through the top 100. Yeah, I don't want to do that right now. I don't want to do that right now. I need an update on Cosmos. I still haven't heard about their Gravity DEX. That's supposed to come out soon. I don't know. I don't know what the delay is, but I think Gravity DEX is going to make a big, it is going to be a big deal for Cosmos. I think so. I don't like Hydra. People have asked me that. I don't like it. It just seems like it's like the token economics of it is like very similar to meme coins. So I don't like that. Matt says BPro's up 40% in the past few days. Ru and team are making amazing crypto. That's why, it's hard. One of the hardest things to do in crypto, and I fall for it too, is to judge a project by its price. Okay. And I know when I covered BPro, I thought they were a very undervalued project or very small cap project. They pumped up quite a bit and then they came down again. And then people were like, oh, did you change your mind about it? No, because Ru still seems like a young, ambitious guy. They still have a great project. They have a lot of source code that they're basically leasing out to customers, and they're still building great things. So I'm glad to see them. In fact, that's why I put them in my portfolio as my ultra small cap. Hey, look at my portfolio. It's only down $62 now. Yesterday was down like 100 and something. Now it's down 62. I did DCA yesterday. I put more into Matic, Theta, and One, and I put a small amount into BPro, but like an off shot, like a small, micro cap project. But I think they're still a good project. All right. Am I ever gonna be on around the blockchain? I was on early on. Now, I don't like to be on shows with like 5 other people. To be honest, it's just like if I go on a person's show, right? I don't want to be competing for attention or competing for talk time, right? If someone wants me on their show, I'll go on. I'll have a good conversation with them. If they come on to my show, I'll have a good conversation with them. But I don't like going on shows where there's like 4 other people and you're just trying to compete with others to talk. This is just not for me. Dennis, I am 1/8 Russian, but I'm not Korean. Yeah, I already talked about Hydra. I'm not a big fan of Hydra. It's not something that I get, and I don't like the token economics. So, no. Can you start a fantasy football league for subscribers? I would, except I'm not a big football guy, so I don't know. Like, even if I started, I wouldn't even be any good at it. It was fantasy basketball, I'm all for it. But football, no, and basketball's over now. So maybe next year. James talks about me too. He's very interested. James who? I don't know which James. From Invest Answers or someone else? George keeps me sane. Going to buy a Model Y because I want electric and need mid-size SUV cargo space. Is there a comparable car? No, what? It's actually not a mid-size. It's actually a compact SUV, but it's as big as a mid-size. In terms of that category, nothing competes. A Mach-E is close, but no cigar. It's very close. You could argue the Mach-E looks better. In some ways, it drives better, but in others, it really is really off. So we'll see. We'll see if there's anyone else that can really top the Model Y. But right now, no. And I've driven an ID4 before. It's good, but it can't top the Model Y. So in terms of an EV midsize SUV, an EV compact SUV. Go with the Model Y. You're not going to be disappointed. I had a Model Y for about 6 months, and unfortunately I had to sell it because I had to get another car. So, but my friend who bought it from me, so far he loves it. Happy announced a partnership with Polygon. Could you take a closer look into it? I know what Happy is about. I don't see the big deal. You know, I don't. So, JMC. You know, in case you guys didn't know, it's really hard to buy cars these days because of the chip shortage for ECUs. You really can't find much cars on the lot these days. So if you're looking for a car, you may have to find. It may take some time for you to find the right one, or you have to wait and put yourself on a wait list, or pay above MSRP, which really sucks. Rabbit Finance is a lending and staking project. I never heard of it, but yeah, ouch, that hurt. Market cap is a little bit too low, Randy. Kevin says, George doesn't know about XRP. Real XRP channels know much more than you. Yeah, they could. I know the basics, and that's enough. It's like, I don't even know, you know, Kevin, why I didn't even talk about XRP in the last 10 minutes, and you bring that up. Well, go stick with the XRP channel. You love XRP, go to the XRP channel and join the XRP army and cult. You know, if you don't want to hear objective, you know, objective discussion about XRP, then stick with one of your XRP channels. It's that simple. If you want to be, you know, being a mind meld with other XRP fan or army, then of course that makes sense. All right, last few questions. Anything else? No. I set an NBA league, George. Make a George coin for a league. I already have one, but, you know, it was really for the GeorgeCon conference. But, you know, that conference got postponed, so not really doing anything with it right now. Diamond Mike, George, where's all this money go? You making to your crypto? I don't know what you're asking, but I have plenty in crypto. And I have a lot in cash in case I need to take advantage of dips. You know, that's the way to go. Will you check out a Ford Maverick? You know, I saw that at auto show. I was going to come out with the video. It's an okay truck. It's a small little compact truck. It's not that impressive. If you want like a daily driver truck, okay, without going to a full-size truck, then get a Honda Ridgeline. I had a Ridgeline for like 3 years. It is the best daily truck in my opinion. It's not so big that you have to worry about, you know, not being able to park at parking lots and so forth. You get great fuel economy. It drives great, plenty of space. The bed is big. You have a hidden trunk. Yeah, go check out a Honda Ridgeline. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Overall, Bitcoin is doing good, or doing better, I should say, doing better. Got a little spike up there, right? 32.65. But bottom line is, guys, like I've been saying, panic selling never does anyone good. Okay, so if you have doubts, you have fear, you know, you have FUD in your head, well, pay attention to what I'm showing you guys, the metrics and the fundamental news and the buying and all this, because there is a lot of positivity in the space. It's growing, and it's only going to grow, and you don't want to miss out. You're already in the game. You're in it for life-changing wealth. You're in it for financial freedom. So don't lose sight of that just because of some FUD. All right? So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye. Min, yes. That's exactly what the show will be.